All right, great morning, superstars. How is everyone out there this morning? This is your host, Taria Hodge of Social Media Saturdays. Welcome to another fantastic and amazing episode. So, if you are out there and you can see me and you can hear me, I would like you to do me a favor. Please drop me a comment into the comment section and let me know, Taria, I could see you. Taria, I could hear you, and we are going to get this party bus rolling. And I am super excited for this episode that we have today. And we are talking about, how influencers use media, in their business. And, I want to just say we have entered, into the month of June. So before I get into the topic, let me just kind of give the framework. We have entered into the month of June, and June is Experience Month. So that's what we're going to be unpacking here on Social Media Saturdays, the entire month of June, how to create an experience around your brand using social media, using media. I have a special guest today that I'm super excited to sit down and have this conversation with. But why? Why are we talking about experience? And the reason why I love to talk about experience is because it's one of the things that I've come to realize when it comes to, marketing and especially social media. People are checking us out without us knowing that people are checking us out. Okay. And so the question becomes, what is the experience that your audience is going to receive when they connect with you on social media, or like our topic today, when they connect with you during or throughout media? Okay. And so that's what we are going to be talking about today. And I see that Heather is out there. Great morning, Heather. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining. And Heather says, I can see you, I can hear you. And she's very excited to be here today. And Heather, I am so excited to have you here as well. And so our topic today is for you if you are looking for ways to boost your media presence. So by a show of virtual hands, or matter of fact, you could even just go ahead and drop a one into the comment section and let me know. If you are out there and you are looking for ways that you could increase your media presence, go ahead and let us know by dropping a one into the comment section. Let us know if that's you. Okay. Or if you are on here today and you are kind of, confused, you're a little turned around because there's so many different media platforms out there, and you are asking yourself the question, which platform or platform should I be on? And when is the right time for me to enter, into these platforms or develop a strategy for my business on different media platforms? So if that's you, I want you to put a two into the comment section and just let us know where you stand. And like I always say, one of the things that I love here on Social Media Saturdays is the opportunity for us to really go deeper in these topics. So I have a special guest today. So if you have questions concerning media, that you would like to have answered in the show, please utilize the comment section and just let us know what your question is, your burning question, and then hopefully we'll be able to answer your question while we are on our live today. And I see Heather is out there. Heather is saying that she is a one, so she's currently looking for ways to boost her media presence. So thank you so much for that, Heather. And I see that Audrey is out there, and Audrey is saying that she's also a one. She's also looking for ways to boost her media presence as well. And I think I saw Heather also added a two on there. So thank you for that too, Heather. And I see that Charette is out there this morning. Great morning, Charette. Okay. And so before I get too deep, let me just go ahead and do, my social media Saturdays. I always do this all the time. I get so excited about the topic, and then I forget to let people know like exactly who I am and what it is I do. So if this is your very first time tuning in to Social Media Saturdays, maybe you are happening to scroll through your timeline and you're wondering what's going on here. Welcome to Social Media Saturdays. I am your host, Taria Hodge, and this is the place where you come to learn how to show up and shine. So each Saturday I share real social social media strategies designed to fuel your business, capture your authentic message, and position you as an influencer in the marketplace. Okay. And so if you are out there with me this morning, I want you to do me a favor in the comment section. Let us know where you are watching us from. Okay, so if you are watching from across the US, make sure you drop your city and your state and let us know where you are watching from. If you are watching from international waters, just go ahead and just let us know what country you are hailing from this morning. And I can't forget my Caribbean people. If you are watching from an island nation, just go ahead and just let us know what island nation you are hailing from. Okay. And as soon as you are finished letting us know where you are tuning in from, the next thing I would like for you to do is share who you serve in your business, how you serve in your business, and how we can connect with you. Okay? Who you serve in your business, how you serve in your business, and how we can connect with you, whether that be a link to your Facebook business page, or if you don't have a Facebook business page, it could be the link to your website. Now, this is something that I absolutely enjoy doing on every episode. Why? Because I know virtual networking happens here on Social Media Saturdays. So I absolutely love to see when our superstars connect in our comment section and they start to, let each other know how they could help, serve. And then also, I love to see the virtual networking that happens during the week in our Serve, Share, Shine Givers community Facebook group. Okay, so don't miss the opportunity, to let us know who you serve in your business, how you serve in your business, and how we can connect with you. And I see that Heather is hailing all the way from Wentzville, Missouri. So Heather, do me a favor. Let us know who you serve in your business, how you serve, and how we can connect with you, hon. Okay. And then last but not least, like I said, today's conversation is going to be a very exciting conversation. So please take a minute to share out the broadcast. So if you look below the video, you will see that there's an amazing share button. It does wonders. Okay. So if you hit the share button, you will see some options on there. You'll be able to share directly on your timeline to bless others in your network. That's one way that you can share. Another way that you could share if you have a community of your own and you think that your superstars in your community can benefit from this information that we're going to share with you. Make sure you share with your community. Or if you know someone, who could use this information, just go ahead and tag them in the broadcast. Okay. And so we are going to get this party bus rolling. Like I mentioned today, we have a very special guest, and we are talking about how influencers can use media to create an experience for their brand or an experience around their marketing. Okay. So the guest that I have the pleasure to introduce to you this morning is a dear friend. He's also an author, an authority on execution, productivity, and media, and he is known as the Media Boss. He's also a distinguished leader and World Civility Ambassador with I Change Nations, and he uses his unique gifting to serve and help elevate the productivity of leaders he works with. He has a strong background in media, working in radio, print, and television with a stint on CBS Sports, plus hosting and producing podcasts such as Black CEO Morning Show, Lunch and Learn with Chris and Barrett, Revenue Radio, and he's also been a dynamic guest on the 30-minute hour Linda Fostek Show, the Power Podcast with Dr. George C. Frazier, and many more. So you guys see why I have him sitting down here with us today. And what I love about Dr. Barrett Matthews is his commitment to showing influencers and thought leaders how to start and grow any business productively by utilizing media. So help me welcome Dr. Barrett Matthews. Great morning, Barrett.
Great morning, Taria. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for agreeing, to come
Thanks
on
for having me.
on social media Saturdays and having this conversation. I'm super excited,
Me too.
about the conversation today. But before we jump into the conversation, I just want to let our superstars know, like, oh my gosh, Barrett has been so instrumental in my entrepreneurial journey. Barrett
Vice
Matthews is like,
versa. Okay.
yeah, like one of the very first people that I met. Oh wow, Barrett, has it been 10 years already?
No, hasn't been 10
How
years.
many years?
It's
I think I met you it's almost 10 years, Barrett,
it
because I
might
met
have been. Now that I think about it,
I
yeah,
met
it
you in
might have been that.
2000. I met you in 2012, and
Okay.
we are
Okay.
in 2021,
Wow.
right? So yeah, it's coming up on 10
Wow.
years.
Yeah, it
10
flew
years.
by. A lot has
Yeah,
happened though.
yeah, a lot of amazing things. And so, like I started to share, you have been like one of the persons that have absolutely been there, from the very beginning, to see the journey. Lots and lots of amazing conversations
Yes,
we've
a whole lot.
had about entrepreneurship and growing our business, developing in our areas of specialty,
Hmm.
looking at who
Oh
we
yeah.
and how we serve, amazing events that we've
Oh,
done
so
together.
many, and the ones we will still do.
I love it. I love it. So yes, I am really excited,
Me too.
to sit down and unpack, this conversation with you today. And so I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in
Okay.
because one of the things as we were preparing, for the episode, one of the
Mhm.
things that came up in our conversation is, the presence of media. So,
Mhm.
I'm in the social media space and I've had the opportunity to work with you on platforms like Lunch and Learn with Barrett and Chris. And I've also
Mhm.
been a part of the Black CEO Morning Show,
Yeah.
as well. Okay. And so share with us a little bit of what you have seen, because I know in the social media space, there's been lots of changes. So what have you seen over the course of the years that's different about media?
Well, it's funny, your theme is experience. I thought that was just another way of you calling it old, but but in media,
No.
I do have a little experience. I was in college is when I first got into media, so that was in the '80s. So yeah, I guess I am old, but it was a different world then in media, and of course, when I got out of college, it was still similar to that. Just to give you an example, we were using tapes in television.
Wow.
So
I
that's
don't
that.
even I don't even think they make tapes anymore.
Right. I mean, I know I probably in a locker somewhere. I probably have some old tapes of stuff that I did, and I'm like, what can I do with it? I have nothing to play it on. So it's just it's stuff like that has changed. I remember when I got out of college, I worked in television. I worked here in the DC area at WSA TV. I was an assistant director there,
Hmm.
and I remember when a few years ago, not long ago, someone asked me, "Do you ever think about going back into television?" I said, "I wouldn't know what to do." I've been away from that for so long. I mean,
Yeah.
my production skills, yeah, I know what to do as far as what ideas I have, but how to implement it, how they go about, producing the show, I wouldn't know how to do that anymore. I've been away from it for so long because it's totally changed. It's
Yeah.
a different animal. Then you talk about like you talk about film, for instance. I mean, you can actually shoot a film using this now.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
shoot a film with a phone. Keep in mind, when I was coming out of college, there was no such thing as this.
Me either. But I love the point that you're making about this, right?
Mhm.
Because what I'm hearing you say is the change that has happened, or some of the things that have occurred, has actually become a whole lot easier,
Mhm.
for more people, just about anybody, right, to have, a media presence. So
Yeah.
back in the day, like you said, when it comes to producing, virtually any type of production, right? Whether it's a TV production, a radio production, it usually involved camera crews, people,
Yes.
bulky equipment. Like Barrett, I remember, like, oh my gosh, I'm not even talking television, right? But I just remember even us, like when we started putting on events,
Yeah.
and oh my gosh,
The big
equipment.
box.
Yeah, we're coming through airports and stuff, and people are
Oh
like,
my goodness.
who are these people? And I had the suitcase with the blade. Now I
Yes.
just carry a backpack, right?
Yes.
And literally all I need is my laptop or my cell phone,
Yes. That's
and
it.
and my ring light, which kind of folds down,
Yes.
and then I green screen, just pull it up, and
You're
I
good to
am
go.
right. And so I love that you shared that, because I think that's one of the things that hinder,
Yeah.
a lot of people from just getting out there and putting their business out there, is because they probably think like it's, this huge thing,
Yeah.
in
Yeah. Yeah.
terms of production.
Well, and there's the thing about access. You kind of brought it up when you were talking about getting into the media, because back in the day, if you wanted to have a business or something exposed on television or a radio show, you had to know someone who knew the producer or who knew the host of the show that could get you in there. Now, just do your own.
Yeah.
You can do your own radio show. You can do your own TV show. You can make your own documentary. You can
Mhm.
write your own books. You don't have to. You can read your own blogs, your own articles. You don't need access. You don't need permission
Yeah,
from anyone
permission.
now.
Right.
That's one of the biggest changes that has happened in media, is that you can control your own media now. You can actually write your own story.
Yeah. And I think it's so important for us to really, have, that discussion, because like I said, a lot of times, and things have changed, because
Oh, big
before it
time.
used to be that you
Mhm.
had to wait to be invited,
Yes,
on the
yes,
stage,
good way of putting it.
okay, or wait to be invited as a guest on a show, right,
Hmm.
or a podcast. And this is why I'm talking, and this is why this fits so well in, what we're talking about. The theme for the month is experience. And
Hmm.
so for us, as the thought leader, as the change makers out there in the world, the influencers, know that you have the ability, to create your own platform. And
Yeah,
and when it comes to experience, you could control the experience. So there's no
exactly,
limitations as to, hey, you're on someone else's platform, and they
exactly.
have all these rules and all of these regulations that you have to follow. You can create the unique experience that you want your audience to have when
Right.
they connect with you. You have that autonomy, to do that, in these day and times. So I think that that's pretty awesome.
It is awesome. I mean, you remember back when I did the show Lunch and Learn with Chris and Barrett. Chris used to be on a
Yes,
local TV station talking
yes,
about credit. She would do it quite often, but she was invited. She couldn't
yes,
just go do it when she wanted to.
yeah,
Now we're in a position where and that wasn't that long ago. Like I said, it was in the last 10 years. So,
yeah.
but now you can actually start your own. We see it all the time. People doing
Oh,
online broadcasts, just like social media Saturdays.
oh yeah,
We see people because we see people that have their own Roku channel. That can have all these different things going on with sponsors and everything going on. You can do that now. You don't have to wait for someone to say, "Hey, are you available?"
yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it. So yeah. So thank you for sharing and bringing that up.
No,
Right.
no problem.
And so, I guess the follow-up question,
Hmm.
to that would be is, and I know a lot of people are asking, what's the benefit, of using media, right? And so the thing about it is to expand, the mindset, around how we look at our marketing and how we're showing up and positioning in the marketplace. Okay. So what are some of the benefits that you would like to share with our superstars about implementing a media strategy?
Well, let me put it to you like this. Okay. I host a podcast. I also produce other podcasts. But let me just take my podcast, for example. I can take a podcast that I do. I may reach a local audience. I may reach an audience across the nation. I may reach some people across the world who love listening to podcasts. But then this right here is one of my books. Now, the thing is, those people that listen to my podcast may not read a lot, but there may be a whole group of people over there in a different country, in a different side of the town, different side of the country that love only to read books. Then there may be another group of people who rather just watch television. So now I have a Roku channel where they can turn on their Roku channel. These people who watch the Roku channel don't like to read a lot. They don't like listening to podcasts. Then you have some people who may, I just rather look at a documentary about someone and decide if I want to do business with them. So I can create a documentary for those people. My point to you is this. People ask, well, which form of media should I use though, Barrett? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Because when you are not using one of them, you are leaving an audience out.
Yeah.
You are eliminating a group of people who would want to pay you for your product or your services by not utilizing one form of media. And some people will say, well, Barrett, I don't want to do a film about my business. I don't want to do a podcast. I don't want to. Nobody cares what you want to do. It's about your public. What do they want?
Yeah.
It's what do they want? Because if you have people out there that want to consume media in a certain way, you need to give it to them in the way in which they consume.
Yeah. And once again, it goes back to the experience, right? That we are creating for our audience. So are we able, to meet our audience where they are?
Where they are. Yeah. And so that's one thing you do with social media. Oh my God. Social media is, there are so many people out there that love getting their information from social media. But then there are people who don't. You have so many people, I don't do social media. I do this. Well, you better get them where they are. You better get them where they are.
And I think one of the things that I'm hearing you say, and you didn't outright say it, right? But it's there. It's the expansion of taking, whatever it is you do that. And I talk about this all the time, right? Taking that one action and then having that one action, spread out across different platforms. Okay? And this is why I get so excited about video. And I know the audience is going to laugh because Barrett has been with me.
I know. Yeah. That's just hearing you say that. Hearing you say that is wild enough.
Barrett has been with me on the journey, and there was a time where I was deathly afraid of the camera.
She would call me. I know, Barrett. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know. Oh God, you just don't know.
Would not get on camera, right? But and the more I started to really, analyze and take a look at the importance, of video marketing. And what it means, for business owners, what it means for, like I said, our entrepreneurs and our thought leaders, out there, our influencers, like you cannot not do video, right? And the reason why I love to talk about video content is because through video content, you could get all the other sources of content that you need. So if you are writing a book, right? Start engaging your audience around your content. Okay. After you produce, your video, you could look for other opportunities, for that. Are you expanding on YouTube? Are you expanding, on Roku? Are you positioning on your local TV stations where they could have the videos that you've already created, and then those videos are aired Are we going to take the audio and turn the audios into a podcast, right? Are you writing blog articles? Are you breaking it down to social media content?
Right.
There's like so many things
So
that
many.
you can do, with your content that would allow you to position, across different platforms.
Right. And there's so many audiences out there that want your product and your service, but they don't even know you exist because you're not meeting them where they are.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it. And so, once again, if you are out there and you have any questions for Dr. Barrett Matthews, we are talking about how to create an outstanding marketing experience using media. If you have any burning questions, go ahead and just drop your questions into the comment section, and then hopefully we'll be able to answer your questions live. And I see that Stephanie is out there this morning. Great morning, Stephanie. And I also see Adil is out there this morning. Great morning, Adil. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining. Okay. And so, Barrett, here's another big question that we get all the time. Okay. So we talk about, the activity of putting media out there, getting seen. And I also get this question a lot of times too, from clients, like, how long is it going to take, to see the ROI, the return of investment? And I love to talk about return of investment because return of investment could be money or it could be time. Right. So you spend money and you also spend time, in this space, producing. Okay. So is there really money in using media for your business?
Well, the answer is yes to that. And even to the first part, the time on return on your investment, it depends on what your investment is and what your commitment is. Because you can throw money at something, but if you're not putting action behind the money, it's not going to grow. It's like anything. I mean, you can throw seeds into the ground, but if you don't nurture that, it's not going to grow. Or it may grow, but it may take longer because if you have one that's nurtured, it'll grow faster. Same thing with your business. And when you do that, when you put money into a media platform or into different forms of media, if you just throw money at it and expect it to just grow without actually putting any time and effort into it, then yeah, you're really just throwing money and hoping something will happen. And that's not saying that something won't happen, but it's just that there's no plan or strategy behind it. So in answering the second question, is there really money in media? Heck yeah. Here's the thing. A guy that I just did a presentation that just for some reason I threw his name out there was Kevin Hart, the comedian. Now, whether you like Kevin or not, think he's funny or not, is beside the point. But what Kevin Hart has done is he is using all forms of media, and he has grown his presence into where he is worth hundreds of millions of dollars because of that. Yeah. He had a plan. Kevin did like most comedians. Started out in the nightclubs, trying to get known. Just like all of them. A lot of them know him from remembering it from there. But what he did then is he realized that in order to grow, he had to do something different than everybody else. Yeah. He had to outwork them, and everybody's heard about Kevin Hart's work ethic. But one thing he has done, he got into films, but he's always doing another film. And some people are, God, he's in everything. Well, let me tell you something. In Hollywood, you better be in as much as you can because that fame will go like that. Yeah. So kudos to him for that. But what else has he done? Kevin has written several books. That's another form of media. But what else did he do with those books? He did audio books with them. Well, he's a comedian. You want to hear the comedian do the book, right? Yeah. See, that was thinking another form of media. He also hosts a podcast where he interviews other comedians. It's more media. He's reaching different audiences. What else did he do? He's on social media. He's on Instagram all the time. He's there all the time doing stuff. There's a plan behind this. This is not him just saying, "Oh, I'm here." No, there's a plan behind everything he's doing because he's promoting a new movie called Fatherhood that's about to come out. I see it all the time now. This is all a plan. And I'm saying this to you guys because if you're talking about making money, these are the things that you have to do. Now, for him to be on Instagram, how much is that costing him? Nothing really, but he's putting stuff behind it to make it grow. Now, what else is he doing? He also has been. You've seen him on the Netflix shows he's put on before. Now, you may not have Netflix, but you got Roku. You got
So,
Roku. You can do your own thing and do it that way. He's even put out documentaries on what he does. So I'm saying that to say that you can do the same thing. Now, what do you do when you do that? You can attract sponsors.
mm-hmm.
You can attract sponsors because now, of course, no, you're not getting Kevin Hart's sponsors. I'm not even insinuating that, but you can get sponsors. Roku has plans. Some podcasts have plans where you can get
Yes.
sponsorship, even if you don't even know about getting the big sponsors. There's someone that you know who has a local business that would love to be noticed on your show. There's someone that you know that would love that. And you could offer them a package to get on your show, and they could end up paying for what you have to pay for.
Yeah.
It's just,
So I'm glad that you're getting in, to that conversation, because
Mhm.
it's one of the things like that I found, right, is that that's the biggest question. People always want to know, right?
Mhm.
With the activity, whether it's social media, with
Mhm.
anything that you do with your business, right? Like, what's the return on investment going to be? And I love that you're talking about this, and you're talking about things, like sponsorship, because and here's the thing that people really don't understand. Like, when it comes to things like sponsorships, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
This is why it's so important for you, to number one, start, have a plan, okay, be
Mhm.
consistent. These are the things,
Mhm.
that I talk about all the time. Be consistent, and also grow your audience as well,
Yeah.
because when you are going after sponsorship dollars, your sponsors also want to, take a look at your audience, okay, and not only take a look at the audience from the number of the audience. They want to know, like, hey, is your audience an action taking demographic?
Yes. Yes. They do want
Okay.
to know that.
Yeah, so did they, so all of those things, come into play. And and I like how you used Kevin Hart as the example, and I know
Mhm.
that there are countless others, but
Mhm.
yes, you are absolutely correct, because you take a someone who is in the comedy industry, the entertainment industry, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
he's a comedian, and he has, looked at a plan
Yeah.
to increase his influence.
Yeah.
And
Because
he
he had to deal with the
also,
pandemic too.
yeah, I was just getting to that, right? And
Mhm.
remain relevant. So one of the things that I
Yes.
did notice about Kevin Hart, because I do have Netflix, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
What Kevin Hart decided to do, and it goes back to creating our own
In his
stage,
house.
right? Yeah. So what he decided to do is that, what, since, stages are shut down and everything is on pause right now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and host, my own show from the basement of
It was
my
brilliant.
home,
That was brilliant.
right? And then when I tell you, like, no elaborate setup, like,
No.
seriously, just a camera.
No.
A camera. I don't even think he was mic'd, right?
And
But
people were
anyway,
mashed and everything. It was like,
yeah, and you, but it was really nice. And then to see that such a small production, well thought out, was
Mhm.
still able to be positioned
Yeah.
on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Which gave millions of people the opportunity, right, to connect, with him, and once again remain relevant. And
Yeah.
so these and here's the thing. I'm really tying it back to the experience. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
So you mentioned something so key. So here's, a comedian, right? And this is what I love, because I do follow him on Instagram, by the way,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Me too. Yeah.
So this is what I love, right? Comedian slash actor. So he could stay in the realm of comedian slash actor,
Mhm.
okay? And then give people the opportunity to experience him from afar. But I love his social strategy. So once he, comes through on his social platforms, he is now giving his audience the opportunity to experience
Experience. Yeah.
multiple sides, of him. So you
Yeah.
have the opportunity to see a glimpse, of his work life, what he does, for
Hmm.
work. You have a glimpse to see his family life, how he
Yeah.
interacts, with his family, his wife, his children,
Hmm.
we even get the opportunity to see his views on certain,
Yeah.
political issues where
Yeah.
he stand, right? And these are the things that, once again, attract people
Yeah. They
to us.
do.
Okay. And so it's more than seeing someone like on the big screen, but it's how do you become relatable? How do you show up as your authentic being? That's
Yeah.
my that's
And,
my
and,
that's
and
my
to
word.
me, you brought up something about when you talk about him and the experience. The one thing that he did outside of that, before we shut down, he basically sold out a football stadium to do a
Mhm.
concert. It had never been done before.
Wow, I
It
did
was a
not know that.
one, yeah, Philadelphia. He sold out a football stadium to do a comedy
Mm,
show. No comedian had ever done that. And see, now here's the thing. I see the fact that thinking about how much money he made by
mm,
doing that. Of course, he televised it, so it was a media form as well.
yeah,
But what he did was the experience for the people,
yeah,
because I mean, you always want to say I was there.
yeah.
If it's something that's never been done before, you always want to say I was there. That's the experience he created. Now, what else did he do? He went around the world touring. Remember,
Mm,
I mentioned to you earlier that you're leaving out certain audiences. He
yeah,
realized that he had an audience outside of the United States. So many people right now watching me right now are only focused in your own corner.
yeah,
There's so many people that need you that want to pay you, but you just got to let them know you're there.
yeah, yeah. I love it, right? And so once again, this is, for our superstars, who are out there like sitting on the fence thinking, should I, shouldn't I, what to do, right? We have the productive podcaster, Dr. Barrett Matthews, sitting down and sharing, some juicy nuggets, on, the importance of media and what has changed in media, and now how everyone, each and every one of us, can get a piece of the pie, a piece of the media pie. Okay. And so let me just ask you,
Mhm.
because we are getting ready to kind of round it up, is there, any other things that you would like to share with our
Sure. To
superstars?
those people who are like serious about really wanting to get something going in media, I'm going to be putting on a challenge, a 5-day challenge to show you how to use the media and how to do what Taria just asked. It's called the Make Money from Media Challenge. It's the Make Money from Media Challenge. And all you have to do is go to makemoneyfrommediachallenge.com and get registered for it. And it's coming up. You'll see the date on there. So just sign up, register for the event. We have general admission. We have VIPs. VIPs get a little bit more, get a little bit more time with me
All
as
right.
well. But it's going to be 5 days. It's only going to be about 1 or 2 hours a day. But you're going to learn some things about media and how you can monetize that and use it to your advantage so that you don't have to be, as Taria said, sitting on the fence and making those things happen. Also, I have a free gift for those of you out there if you want to learn a little bit more about even how to make money just from podcasting. You can actually text the word dollars. Text the word dollars to 929-244-4323. That's 929-244-4323. Text the word dollars and you can take advantage of that. But like I said, I'd love to see you guys at the Make Money from Media Challenge. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping you guys will be there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm super excited. I have the information up on the screen to get the free gift, podcasting profits. But
Mhm.
this is one of the things that I'll share with our superstars. Like I say it all the time because this like literally has been my journey. Like I started social media Saturdays about it's been about 4 years, right? Coming up on 5 years now, social media Saturdays. And when I started the platform, I didn't necessarily start the platform because I wanted to do videos. I just wanted to really understand how video marketing worked. Right. And when I started, it was actually webinar based. Right. So social media Saturdays actually used to be a webinar. Okay, and then live video came on the scene, and I think I started out on Periscope. I did
You
Blab.
were so nervous.
Yeah, I did Blab for a stint when Blab was
If
around.
Clubhouse had come out years ago, you'd be a billionaire by now.
Right. And oh, you talked about Clubhouse, so we're gonna go into that just before we wrap up. So I want to talk
Okay.
a little bit about that too. But what I wanted to share with our superstars, like even for me on the journey, Barrett, Dr. Matthews has been the person that I turn to and say, hey, how can I extend the reach? I'm doing the shows, social media Saturdays. How can I utilize it more? So once again, guys, if you have these questions and you are like wondering what is your next step, maybe you are out there, you have a platform and you want to know how to branch out. Like I said, we talked about platforms like Roku and television shows and things like that. If you really, want to, understand and know what it takes, to grow into different areas, you really want to connect with Dr. Barrett Matthews. And I was just about to say, with Clubhouse, I had the opportunity to be a guest on Clubhouse, where you were also a guest as well. And
Mm-hmm.
that's another form of media that
That was
is
fun.
absolutely taking off, right?
Yeah.
And I have to say, for those of you who might be a little bit camera shy, right? Don't let that hinder you, right? I've come to love video, okay? But if you are a little bit camera shy, and you still want to be able to, have a platform where you can position your business and your message, you might want to consider a platform like Clubhouse, to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Most
Okay.
definitely.
All right. Okay. So I am so grateful to have had the opportunity. I know we talk all the time,
Yes, we
right?
do.
But to
We'll
actually
probably talk about 2, 3 times in the next couple of days. So that's what we do.
to sit down, and unpack this conversation with you on social media Saturdays. So I'm just gonna share with my superstars. I usually try to leave with a strategy, of the week. Okay, and so the strategy of the week is to think in the terms of how you are repurposing your content. Okay, so as you produce your media, right? Or your videos where you are, think about how you could start now getting that information on other platforms. So whether you're writing a book, that's a form of media, whether you're getting your video podcastings, on television stations, where there's a local station or stations like Roku, you have a show, maybe you're positioning for Netflix. If you're looking at sponsorship, just take a look at how you can extend the life of your content. I talk about that
Mm-hmm.
all the time. So a lot of times we spend a lot of resources, time, money, energy, everything, people resources to go into these things, and it's almost like it's a one and done. And it doesn't have to be a one and done. You could, find so many different ways that you can repurpose your content, get your content on other platforms, and continue to create that wonderful experience as you continue to build and grow your business. Okay. And so, with that being said, thank you, superstars. I see that Stephanie is out there. She's saying, this is so good. I so needed these juicy nuggets. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for tuning in and joining us. If you are tuning in for the first time and you are not a member of our Serve, Share, Shine, the Givers community, that's our community on Facebook. Okay, so you could always come into the community in between times that we do social media Saturdays live. You could come into the community, you could catch our past videos, and then you could also ask questions and stay connected until we meet again next time. Okay, we are also on Instagram, so you could follow me on Instagram as Taria Hodge. I am also on YouTube as Watch SMS Live. We are on Twitter or watch SMS Live. And if you are on LinkedIn, I could be found on LinkedIn as Taria Hodge as well. Okay. And then I see that Mr. Murray. Thank you so much, Mr. Murray, for tuning in and joining this morning.
Hey.
Yes, and I love what he always says. I love you, and there's nothing you could do about
Right.
it. So, we love you, Mr. Murray. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining. And Heather says, thank you so much. Loved every moment. So thank you guys for tuning in and supporting Social Media Saturdays. And we will see you on our next broadcast. I just have to say, next week we have another special guest coming up. So you want to definitely make sure that you mark your calendar from now to tune in next Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. All right, superstars, take care.
Yeah.
Until next time. Bye-bye.